What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. All right, so let's do this. We got a few movers here. It's mostly I'm mostly seeing mid and high cap stocks that are moving this morning. Let me move this out the way. There we go. Yeah, it's mostly mid and high cap stocks that I'm seeing moving this morning. Specifically, AMD looks good. GSUM popping up here. Solely, I'm going to watch SOLY again just because it's gapping up and it had a lot of volatility yesterday. We got MLNT that gapped up and then washed out and faded all the way back down. We got PHUN, which is starting to spike up some. PHUN, it's up to 225 now. We got PERI. Hey, buddy. What you doing, man? The house is done getting painted, buddy. It's all finished, man.
But why is it done?
So the walls look better. Y'all want to see my son? Hey, come here. Come sit. Come sit by me, man. What you doing? It's PJ day today at his school. What you doing, man? You see? Look, there you are right there. You see yourself? Look back up a little bit. Yep. Look, that's the camera right there. See? You see it? There it is right there. It's the blue. You see the blue?
What are you doing again?
What?
What are you doing again?
I'm sitting here on my computer. This is called streaming.
I can't say it very well.
You can't what?
I can't say it very well.
You can say it. Try saying it.
Stream.
See? You can say it. Yeah. That was good. Good job. Oh, hey, why don't you let me work a little bit, bud, okay? Why don't you go get your shoes on, get ready for
I
school?
already got my shoes on.
You got your shoes on already?
Yeah.
Did you put on socks?
No.
Okay, so
But
you
I
got...
don't know where.
I know, they're downstairs in the laundry room. You know where your socks are. Thank you, bud. All right. That is my son getting ready for school. Hanging out. All right. So yeah, so I'm looking at right now specifically I'm looking at OSTK doesn't look bad. OSTK. AMD's looking pretty strong. And even though it's technically gapping down, it's still moving and it had a really green day yesterday. And so AMD doesn't look bad. OSTK is up some to 1765. I'll watch that one as well. Like I said, GSUM is gapping up some. TRCH looks all right. JBHT is pretty strong here as well. JB Hunt Transport Services. SOLY, like I said, LSCC. And LSCC is actually a former runner. Not that much volume, but LSCC is at least moving some. TTM, gapping up some. SSL, gapping up some. Sorry, so I'm kind of looking at these mid-cap stocks. GRFS. And a lot of these are gapping up with low volume. So CGC is up some as well. What's up, James? Thank you, Fiona. Thank you. I appreciate it. NBEV popping up on my scanners. XPO, BYND. I don't really have good luck trading BYND. It's just not. I don't think it ranges well. I think that's the big thing. If you watched the video I uploaded yesterday, I specifically talked about how I really just attack the range in between the VWAP and the previous low of the day for fades and the VWAP and the previous high of the day for bounces. And that's the range I attack every single day. That's the range I attack. I just look for that range to follow through and just to kind of pivot off of that range and just kind of make money doing that. And that's my strategy. That's my style. And it works, you know, as you could probably see, I'm pretty consistent with it and it works really well. I ended the day up $10 in gross profits yesterday, but I'm not going to pretend like it was a green day because I'm sure after commissions I was probably down a few bucks, and so but I was able to rebound, and I'm probably only let me see. I think I was at like 280 in my account yesterday. I have to see exactly what my account was at before yesterday, but let's see where it's at now. Let's see how much commissions were. I traded multiple times, and so I'm sure commissions is gonna run me up a little. Yeah, I mean, it only ran me up $20 in commissions, and I traded like, I don't know, like 5-6 times. So $20 in commissions for that, maybe a little bit less. Maybe I only traded 3 or 4 times, but $20 in commissions for all of that is not too bad. I'll take it. My account's roughly at 260, so it was like $25 in commission. So not too bad, really. So yeah, so we can also look at the gap downs here. So we did get, we got the, hey bud, my son is back. Hey buddy. What you doing, man? You hanging out with me? You ready for school?
Yeah.
Yeah? What you got there? So are you the best? Who do you think the fastest kid in the world is?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Where'd you learn how to be so fast?
By moving my legs. I just figured out that.
You figured out that moving your legs can make you really fast?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. What about?
I can go faster than the Flash.
You can go faster than the Flash?
Yeah.
Really?
If you move your legs really fast.
Show me how fast you can be. Wow. That is really fast.
Whoa.
Wow.
Don't
Man,
make it.
you are fast. You are fast, buddy. One day, I hope I'm as fast as you.
But I want to be faster.
Yep, you are. Don't worry.
You're never going to be faster than me.
I'm never going to be faster than you? You're always going to be faster than me?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I accept that. That is my son, my very humble son over here. He's very humble, as you can see. Not school, it's just camp. He goes to camp a few days of the week. We don't make him go if they don't want to go. Some days they stay home. But most of the time they want to go because they do swimming and stuff like that. So they do like swimming and rock climbing and all this cool stuff. So yeah, it's just summer camp.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Watch this. I'm going to do a trick on the door.
A trick?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see it. Wow, hey, be careful, man. Hey, you're gonna hurt yourself, buddy. You gotta be careful, okay? My son's hanging on the doorknob. Hey, actually, buddy, don't touch that. They just painted that yesterday, okay? Thank you.
But that part's not getting painted.
He is 5 years old. Yeah, that's what he, I don't even argue with him. He's 5 years old. And then my daughter's here too. She's hanging on too. So yeah, they're hanging out with me today. Jack said he is the fastest kid ever.
Oh, I doubt that.
And that no matter what I do, he will always be faster than me. Yep.
Because I can move my legs super fast.
Because you can move your legs super fast?
Yeah.
I guess that's the trick. Alright, hey guys, here, out of here. Okay?
If you
Thank you.
move your legs
Sorry, I had to kick my kids out of here. Alright. We should have Mitch here. I don't know. Mitch's screen isn't coming up. It's just the audio. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that. What you got there, man?
What I got what?
Is that a bracelet? That's a big bracelet.
No, It was one of my toys, but it turned it into a bracelet by doing this.
So it was a toy that you turned into a bracelet by doing that.
No, you gotta do this to make it a bracelet. It's too small for you.
I know. Out of here.
Medium for me.
Yep.
Medium.
It's medium for you. It's too small for me. That's right. Here, out of here, buddy.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, IMRN looks good. Let's look up the news really quick. Hold on, I'm gonna go make some coffee, guys. So I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna go make some coffee. So, yeah, give me like, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, and I'm gonna make some coffee here. Test, test. My headphones went on. Sorry, guys. Mitch, you there, man? Whew. Been running. Had to go take the trash out. Test, test. My headphones went on. Sorry, guys. Mitch, you there, man? We got an echo. Let me mute this echo. All right, checking back up on the stats. IMRN revenue surge. Yeah, IMRN's looking healthy. It looks healthy today. What's up, James? Yeah, man, you're at Steamboat Springs. Nice, man. I saw your little trading setup, dude. It looks cool. Let's kill it today, man. What's up, Tiny? Good morning. You stopping by, Tiny? Hey, it's good to see you. Steve. Yeah, I can't hear Mitch. I don't know what's going on with Mitch. I don't know if he's there or not. Yeah, it should be there. Yeah, he should be here. So yeah, he's probably just away from his computer. Yeah, man, I had to go take my trash out, man. It's Tuesday. If I forget, my wife's going to kill me. She really will. If I forget to take the trash out, listen, nobody wants to let their trash sit for a week in their garage. Nobody wants to do that, man. So, you still here talking, Mitch? What? I don't hear you, man. I mean, I'm up here. I think it's on your end now, though, because I have you up on mine. Let me make sure. Yeah, I've got you up on mine. I've got desktop audio up. I think this is on your end this time, man. I know my headphones are on. Let me make sure. Hold on. Yeah, mine are on. So this is you now, I believe. All right. But yeah, IMRN doesn't look bad. We'll see what else we can find here. JBHT looks like it's dropped some. Yeah, JBHT dropped a little bit. I'll still keep an eye on it. And one that I traded fairly well yesterday was Tesla. Yesterday, if you caught the video after the stream, the two stocks I really attacked yesterday after the stream with really just scalps. It was just some scalp plays were Tesla and SQ. SQ is the same one that Mitch traded yesterday. And so I kind of attacked this range as well. It's something I talked about yesterday, and I even called it out on the stream where when you get a big move like this, like when you get a big rejection and a lot of confirmation in this level at 82.25, you can risk off of that level all day. And, you know, any subsequent bounces to the VWAP, I just short into them. I just add some short positions right around the VWAP using that 25 level as risk. And the accuracy, even though the risk-reward ratio is only about 1-to-1, the accuracy for that, and this is something I talked about in the video, the accuracy for that is going to be on point. It's going to work a large majority of the time because what we're essentially doing with these is that we're finding stocks that have maintained a certain range in a certain trend. You know, the big thing you want to understand here is that the VWAP is a trend indicator. Let me pull this a little bit closer so you guys can see it. The big thing you want to understand here is that the VWAP is a trend indicator. So the VWAP tells you the intraday trend, the daily trend of the stock, the trend the stock is currently in. Let me get myself out the way here. So the VWAP tells you that trend. And so Mitch ended the stream. Yeah, I mean, it had to be on Mitch's side because my volume's working okay. And like I said, I tested my volume here. And so you guys can hear that as well. And so, yeah, that's whatever it was on Mitch's side. But anyways, so yeah, what we're essentially attacking is we're attacking this trend of the stock, right? So let's use SQ as an example here. When the stock is under the VWAP like this and it's maintaining under the VWAP, it tried to break over it and change trends right here, but it just got rejected and came back down. And so what we're doing is we're just attacking that trend, right? So when it gets rejected and it maintains under the VWAP, then it's confirmed that downward intraday trend that we're attacking for SQ. And so when I wait for it to bounce up to the VWAP, I just short into it because most of the time it's going to confirm that trend again and it's just going to come right back down to the lows. And that's that's what I'm attacking. Same thing with Tesla here. Same exact type of same idea with Tesla is that you can see with Tesla, even if I remove this, with Tesla down here, you can see most of the day it was in this downward trend, right? And whenever I see a big move up like this and then a quick rejection back down, like you can see this big move up and then this big rejection back down, on subsequent bounces to the VWAP, I'm shorting into those because it already looks really weak and I can risk off of that previous bounce. You know, I can risk off that previous bounce and my reward target's almost always going to be this low of the day level. And again, even if the risk reward's not great, the accuracy for these is going to be, you know, it's at least going to be 1-to-1 risk to reward, but the accuracy with these is super high because you're just taking advantage of that trend. Sorry, Mitch sent me another invite. Let me try to get him in here now. So I hope that makes sense. I didn't mean to ramble. I'm just trying to show you guys what kind of the strategies I've been using to be pretty consistent with it. So hope that makes sense. All right, let's try to get Mitch back up here. There you go. Yo, I can hear you now. What's up, man?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but
yeah, it had to be something on Zoom, really.
I think it was Zoom. I even had to do an update when I ended the meeting. So
yeah, it asked me to do one too.
I think that's what it was. I think it was the update. You had the update, I didn't, so it wasn't allowing us to speak.
Yeah. All right, well, what's up, man? What's up, brother?
Chilling, man. A little tired, man.
No
face cam. Just woke up late. I would have to set it up now.
Yeah, no stress.
I'm just gonna pass today.
No worries, man. So what was it? What was I looking at? SOLY, AMD. These are my watches. SOLY, AMD. I'm gonna watch Tesla again because Tesla, you know, even though that first trade on Tesla didn't work out super well, it did stay really rangy yesterday, and you know, so I'm gonna look to attack that again if it fits in that range. VKTX, one of our old favorites, is gapping up a little bit. VKTX.
One of the ones that I picked up, SGMO, KPTI, and Solo. All tradable.
Yep. Solo's tradable? What?
All tradable on TEFs.
It is, man. I watch Solo for sure. It's very rare that we get to trade these, so.
Oh, trust me. I'll let you know. I always look for them.
Nah.
Yeah. One of the biggest things I look on both sides. You know, that's why we have both sides of the gapper. And you look on the right side, you're gonna find KPTI, and you'll find also DPZ, Domino's getting destroyed.
Domino's Pizza.
Yep, DPZ.
Yeah, that one got hammered. What happened? Let's look up some news. I haven't looked up news yet. First one we can look up is VKTX because it doesn't look bad.
Yo, so how's the Bitcoin? I might buy some today.
Not me, man. Well, it depends on what it's at. Anything over 10K, I'm not buying Bitcoin.
I'm seeing that 20 surge coming.
That's possible for sure. I guess as it gets higher, I just get more skeptical of it. And I was reading some people, and they think it's going to get up to like hundreds of thousands of dollars per coin. And I just think that's ridiculous. I just think that's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know about 100,000. I could see maybe 40. I could see it doubling. Doubling the extension that it did last time. I don't think it's gonna triple that extension or make that extension 5 times the amount.
Right.
That just sounds ridiculous.
Right. I mean, Bitcoin is one of those things where I want it to succeed, but I'm not super confident it actually will. You know what I mean? And I want it to do well, and maybe I'm just a downer with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe that's why we have different opinions on it. I feel at the end of the day, it's not even a matter of what the coin is, how stable it is. I think it's just a matter of investor interest.
Yep. Hype.
And so I think that alone keeps it alive, and that alone will keep it growing.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Everyone thinks they're gonna get rich. it's gonna be around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm humble enough to admit that I don't know. You know
It's
what I
kind
mean?
of like a penny stock that went 0 to 100,
And then it's probably
and
gonna come back down.
everyone thinks it's the legit company.
Yeah, that's kind of what it
That's
is.
that's
Exactly.
kind of how to describe it. It's a stock that went 0 to 100, and everyone's tried to do their research on this company and the financials state that the company is not doing any illegal activity or doing anything out of the ordinary to make their stock jump up that much. Of
Yeah,
course, with that's going to come some speculation on both sides, whether it's going to get back up there to that 100 pricing or whether it's going to keep contracting down and different regulations and certain things will hit the equity. And I'm just
yeah.
kind of translating it to equities so we can kind of have an understanding into what we do.
I mean, I don't know. Like I've said it before. I probably ranted about it too much on here, but with Bitcoin specifically, it's like part of me is just skeptical because of the hype. You know, and here's the thing, right? People have invested their future into Bitcoin, and I understand it. I understand it, but I think that clouds their judgment to a certain extent, and I think that Bitcoin ended up squeezing up like it did, and so
Here, you can
everybody,
show my screen if you want. I'll have Bitcoin up.
yeah, I think Bitcoin here. I'll put it right here. But yeah, so I think Bitcoin hype got behind Bitcoin, and I want it to succeed. I'm anti big bank. Don't get me wrong, but I think that people have invested their future into it, and that clouds their judgment. I think that people, now there's all these different subsets of businesses that revolve around blockchain and the crypto industry and Bitcoin. And so I think people kind of rest their shoulders on that, and they're not as objective as they should be about it, specifically about how high it's going to go. I think that here, let me rephrase that. How high it's going to hold. I think it might spike up and go crazy and go really, really high. I think that's possible. Do I think it's ever going to hold at those huge levels? Absolutely not. And again, I'm not 100% sure either way. I don't know enough about it to really be super convinced either way. But I think that too much hype gets behind it, and people are investing too much stuff into it, and there's all these subsets of businesses that people rely on, and so that clouds their judgment. And I also think per coin, it's just way too expensive per coin from a logical standpoint. Let me say that from a practical standpoint, it's just way too expensive per coin. But who knows what it's gonna do? I really don't know. I was skeptical when it was down at 5,000, 6,000. So what do I know? I'm like I said, I'm honest enough to tell you I don't know. But
I'm honest to say 3,500.
I'm confident in 3,500. Good morning.
I think I'll take it then.
Yeah, man. I'll buy it at 3,500. I've heard Bitcoin transactions are too slow, and whoever makes them immediate, they will be the one. Whoever makes them immediate. Yeah, I think if you had like a faster way for sure. I think there's too many steps, which gives you some security though, and I think that's why it's a little bit slower. Is because
Yeah,
it's
it
more
just has
secure.
to do. Remember, it's not you're not trading on the New York Stock
Right.
Exchange.
It's not a stock. I mean, it's a security to a certain
It,
extent, or a currency technically, I guess. But
the
it's
real
not.
key, it doesn't have the support that kind of a market like the Nasdaq or the New York Stock Exchange would have.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. So the support really gives it what we call direct routing. You have to have really good server systems set up for that. So Bitcoin doesn't go through direct routing. It's going to go through what we call an algorithmic routing. And so it's going to use an algorithmic uh, kind of mathematical to get you your shares. So it takes the calculation from where the price was into the price that you actually submitted your request.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, with Bitcoin, that can make a big difference. One of the biggest things I learned with Bitcoin is don't try to get all your kind of share size all at once. Definitely something you want to learn how to size into and
Right.
learn how to read support and resistance, and only be buying on pullbacks and selling on move ups. You
Right.
got to remember Bitcoin can be shorted now, and so that
Can it
right
really?
there, it
It can
changed
be shorted?
dynamic. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
it's been being able to short for a long time, ever since there's been options on it.
So where do you buy options for it? That's what I'm
You
curious
have
about.
to get them on the over the counter
The OTC
OTC
market?
markets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not
That's a
gonna
little bit.
find it in the major markets.
Yeah. I mean, I would consider that for sure. I'd consider that.
You see, you're the opposite. I think that way with the market overall, and you think that way with Bitcoin.
Yeah, man. I think, like I said, man, I'm skeptical of it, man, and I want it to do well, but
Uh,
I think there's
I'm
too
so
much hype.
evil. I'm evil. I think that way with the SPY.
The spy, like I said, I think maybe the spy will drop short term, but I think over the long term, the spy always goes up. And
I
so,
don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just talking history here. I'm just saying historically, the spy always goes up. On a long term basis, the spy always goes up. Let me rephrase. On a short term basis, of course, you're going to have swings, but over the long term, I think it always goes up. And I think trying to short something that has never been done in history is
A little
uh,
psychotic. Yeah. Call
mm,
me the Big Short.
mm, I mean, short term shorts. If they're like, you know, like the Big Short, they were doing long term options, which are hard to get a hold of in the first place. Um,
Yeah. Believe it or
but
not, I've been looking at some. I've looked at prices for the SPY dropping to like 200.
yeah,
But you have to calculate the pricing. That's the main thing with options, and I like to remind people and why I don't mess with options is that I actually have an education in finance, and with that education, it taught me a lot that options has a lot to do with understanding the pricing of options, and if you yourself can price them. Once you yourself can price them, then it's a little bit different. Then you're having an ability to actually judge the what we call arbitration and try to see if there's a mispricing in the option itself. And that's really where the big option winners come from, because these guys have an ability, they have resources to really judge the option and whether there's an arbitrage to kind of take there and make the difference. Definitely, options are much more complicated than most people think. Most people try to get into options first because they get told the story that that it's going to be easier because you have more leverage. Uh, yes and no.
mm,
You know,
well,
most contracts expire worthless,
right.
um,
And so
and
selling
so
options,
yeah, if most of it's gonna expire worthless, then you're kind of in a losing game, unless you're on the other side of the stick, like John's gonna talk about now.
right? Yeah, for sure. And I mean, here's like you could sell options, and this is the truth with options, right? You could sell options, and your accuracy is going to be very high for the most people. Large majority of options expire worthless, and so if you sell options, you're going to make money most of the time. The problem with that lies in whenever you do lose, you can lose really, really big. And so, I like buying options a little bit better because if you buy options, your risk is pretty limited. Where if you sell options, your risk is not limited, it's infinite. Buying options, you have a very finite risk, a very set risk. It's a very obvious risk. You're only risking what you pay for that option. Now, if you're selling options, especially like a put option, the stock can go up infinitely higher. And so it's just more risky, but you're going to have better accuracy and most people are going to do better. And so it just depends on what you're good at. If you can price the options you're selling right, then you're okay. And especially like short term options, you might get, hit a few times, but especially short term options, you can find some gullible traders that'll just buy some terrible options And a lot of times they don't know what they're doing, and so it's, you know, you gotta pick the right prices for your options, and if you can do that well, then you'll be okay. But you don't want to go crazy with it and just start
I
slanging.
think I think that options are not something that you kind of trade with one stock. Options are more set up for what we call a portfolio view. And
Right.
if you have a portfolio view, what you can do is you can learn how to take options. And let's say if you have options in Apple, uh, Facebook, Disney to go long. And let's just say for the time being today, you thought that the SPY was going to drop. The SPY had negative news. The market overall, you see a pullback. You can go ahead and put a short time expiration on the SPY to go down so that you can make some money today as your options become kind of less worth, or they're worth less because they get pulled back because the SPY comes back down.
Right.
And this way you're able to kind of what we call leverage or hedge your bet. And you want to go ahead and hedge your bet with options. And
Right.
that's really what options gives you the ability to do. But I will tell you, to hedge and do all these kinds of trades, I've already seen it. You need a big amount of capital for
Yep.
you to actually start doing all the hedging and both sides of the trade, balancing yourself out. And kind of sometimes you push the expiration back because you want to kind of wait and see if it's going to head into your direction. So
Yep.
you'll push the date back. There's a whole bunch of things that come into options, and that's why I don't
Yep.
even mess with it, because I
Money
I know
makes money.
I,
Money makes money, and you need a
I
lot of money for options.
yeah, I met a professor that did options for 30 years, and he himself told me 30 years later he was still learning about options.
I believe that too.
So that right there took I took it to real kind of heart and realized, options is a really hard game. It's a game that's played with the real wealthy right now because you can leverage it.
Yep.
Think about it. If you had $1 million and you can leverage it up to 20 million, you're probably going to want to go ahead and use that kind of leverage versus actually using the 20 million itself.
Right. I mean, it's I've had mixed results with options, and like I said, I have one option strategy. It's usually a put option strategy where I look for overextended stocks on the upside and buy put options on them, and just kind of wait it out for them to drop, which a lot of the time they do. But it's a numbers game, and everyone's not going to be successful, and so you kind of have to have enough money to play the odds and the probabilities with them, and you need money to make money. And at least right now with my options account, it's just not big enough. I don't think. I could take one every few days and just kind of have some fun with it, but you need money to make money with options. And let's go ahead and look up some news though. So first, what I'm going to look up is Solo, SOLO. Big move yesterday. Roth Capital initiated coverage on the company's stock with a buy rating for Solo, SOLO. The overall market, let me see, where do I find it? I need a website that I can find the overall market news. I think CNBC was the one I used last time. No. All right, here we go. Stock futures are flat in early trading ahead of a raft of key earnings. JP Morgan was out of the gate among the banks this morning, reporting earnings and revenue that beat expectations. What is JP Morgan? JPM? Yeah. JPM spiking up there, so. We got
That might be a little PR trick. If you look at the actual stock itself, it doesn't look too strong pre-market. I will let you know that, guys.
now let's go ahead and get the other scanners up here and get ready for the actual trading day now. There we
Yeah,
go.
I don't expect a really strong earnings season. I can tell you that right out the water, guys. I expect really weak earnings. Even if they say they're beating it, you have to do a little bit more research. I've seen time in, time out. The PR says it's a good thing, and if you really do the research, it's not. There's some hidden stuff. They push the positive and hide the negative. I don't know why bank stocks scare me. Yes. You see that? You see how far the drive has come since the kind of the bullish market that we've been in, and that's why I always say sometimes if these banks come down, woo, eh, in 2008 they were down at $34 JPM. Now we're talking 113, $114. That is four times the amount. So we're talking about a 400% increase in a bank stock, which is supposed to be relatively uh, not volatile. Um, most banks are not going to be volatile, the stock. That's a crazy stock right there. Goldman Sachs. I see someone talking about GS. I can't trade this one. I can tell you guys, there's not many stocks that I'll admit to not being able to trade. I can't trade Goldman Sachs. Oh, I've tried. It ain't gonna happen. Nah, it just makes some crazy moves, up and down, both sides. I've seen this thing go straight down, straight back up to the range, break out, do the same thing on the other side. It's one of those stocks that I feel you can't find the geometrical edge. Very few days. All right. One of my best watches is your baby today on that third
Oh, I'm sitting
resistance
here
try.
talking to myself. Yeah, AMD. But no, what I was saying is that if you look at how we trade, we trade really range bound moves, and so the best stocks for us are stocks that pick a trend and stay in that trend, and then kind of pivot into that trend. And those are the stocks that I end up attacking the most often because I just pick those and maintain those. Yeah, I was muted. Everybody's
You
telling me.
muting yourself, man?
Yeah. All
All
right, there's
right.
the bell. Yep, I caught it. I got it, guys. Thank you, though. CGIX penny stocks, if you're looking at those, penny stocks are moving. IMRN.
There's AMD with a nice little sweep there.
Mm-hmm.
Went up to the resistance, swept right back down.
Come to the dark side, man, with that one, bro. I'm telling you, that one's reliable with fades. I'm telling you, man, it really is reliable with fades.
Yeah, I just wait for days like this when the daily chart tells me yes.
All right, guys. There's the bell. Let's see.
There's that
Nice.
push down
Yeah, man.
on AMD. I just can tell. Like right off the water, you see the daily chart. It would be very unlikely for it to just shoot out the waters on that daily chart like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the SPY's just getting hammered. Like, look at the SPY. Overstock's doing the same thing. CRON is the cannabis play, so I think that one's moving up. But I think what we're getting is like the SPY's just getting hammered here. Look at the drop.
It's not hammered, man. That's a small candle relative to the 15.
I know. I'm
It's
just saying.
it's just getting your emotions on the 1 minute.
No, I think most stocks are dropping, is what I mean. Like, I think.
Yeah, you're gonna get a down move, but you can't rush to it because what you have to do is just pay attention to stocks that are gapping up. Really strong stocks. Those are the ones you want to be looking on the downside,
Right.
and that's why I'm looking at AMD
Look at
because
Overstock.
AMD is the highest technology stock right now, like on the brink of breaking out through their resistance.
Right. I'm watching it for sure. If it can get up to 23, the only thing is the wicks. You know, if those wicks maintain there, Overstock completely reversed here too. Uh, Overstock may do a red to green move over 1780. So yeah, we'll see if AMD can maintain those wicks. If we get in at 22, or if I get in at 22, we could use a level of 30 as a risk. So it's like 8 cents, and I like that level. It just depends on if those wicks are still there. So ideally, I'd like to see it drop a little bit more first. Yeah, there we go. I like that drop a little bit better. But yeah, the SPY's down after gapping down too. So we'll see if the SPY rebounds here. Ideally, this is the time to attack the fades. But the SPY's getting hammered. Not hammered, but it's down. Which should be good for fades. Let's see. Look at that fade on OSTK, man. Look at that fade on OSTK. That one doesn't look bad. All right, so yeah, AMD is definitely an option now because I can use that 3430 level as my risk. So I'll definitely consider that now for AMD. Not anymore. Squeeze up's too much. I don't mind OSTK here though. Yeah, there's a squeeze up. I mean, 3430 would have been my risk, but those wicks, this is the issue here, is those wicks,
Yeah.
man. Just all the buying pressure. You can see this buying pressure right here.
I see it in multiple stocks. That's why I haven't taken the trade. I see JD sitting on the VWAP, but I see the same thing. Bunch of wicks at the bottom, bunch of buying pressure.
Yep. That's the only thing. Like, I was going to get in AMD too. I was, but then once I saw the squeeze and I noticed the wicks at the bottom, it's just a no-go for me. Same thing with OSTK. The wicks are just too much. I might look for some bounces. NBEV doesn't look terrible either. I mean, if NBEV can get up, the volume's just kind of low for it.
Yeah, it's one of those days I feel like patience is gonna pay off, so I'm gonna just be calm and wait.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I could see myself just kind of going crazy, not going crazy, but I could see myself wanting to trade, and I don't know if
Yeah,
I should.
yeah, I
There's
don't see
the
anything clear out that tells me to jump in right now, so
there's
I'm
the
waiting
flush.
around.
Look at that flush on AMD. So it did kind of flush, but it would have stopped me out and broke my risk before that anyway. So
Yeah, no, that wasn't a fade pattern. If you scroll back, it's already faded.
yeah, it's a
You're
chop
jumping.
pattern.
Yeah, you're jumping on the bottom on the breakdown. That's the breakdown. So if you're trading that, you're trading a breakdown pattern. You're not trading the VWAP fade.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just up and down over the VWAP, so it's just kind of chop.
Look how the SPY's making its way back. That's
Yeah,
why I watch it on the 15-minute, and that keeps me level-headed. because the SPY has a tendency of making a big move first and then coming right back, reversing. So
yeah, look at CGC here. I don't mind CGC here with and if AMD now gets back to 17, I'll consider it.
yeah,
But
so you got that pattern that I talk about. I've talked about this pattern often. When you have a stock that's bearish in the morning, it has a tendency of breaking the support, coming back all the way up to the resistance. The resistance was clearly there at 34.30, and then it rejected off that resistance, came right back down.
whoa, sorry guys, I don't know why my chart is like this. For some reason, my chart is just way too big here. I gotta minimize it a little bit. There we go. Sorry guys, I
All
gotta
right.
fix this. I don't want this to bug me while I'm trading, so I gotta fix my chart a little bit. There we go. That should be good. Yeah. All right. All right. AMD, if it bounces back here, looks interesting.
All right, I'm taking a smaller trade here. It's only with 300 shares. The risk is 24.45 off of IOVA. Risking 15 cents with 300 shares here, guys.
Yeah, my computer's lagging. I need to exit out of some of this stuff. There we go. There we go. It should be a little bit better. I got too much stuff up. Alright, how does that look, guys? Yeah, a little bit more here. Alright, I'm considering AMD if it gets up to 14 with a risk level of 25. SPY is kind of fading back down. I'm also looking at CGC up to 33. Doesn't look bad there either. There we go. That's better. All right.
Maybe AMRN.
I'm looking at the breakdown in AMD. I mean, I could consider it. It just depends on what the SPY does here too. But if we can get a bounce to 12, I'll consider it. It's just because then now that those wicks and those lows have been formed, I could hopefully those turn into resistance now. Cron is kind of bouncing off the view up a little bit. Still early, so I'm gonna wait. But Cron doesn't look half bad there. Honestly, my computer's lagging a little bit, to be honest. Let me see if I can change this to devote more memory to Thinkorswim. Hopefully that'll make it run a little bit smoother. There we go. All right, AMD, we get a pop up to 11. I'll take it with the risk of maybe 20. I don't mind 20 risk. So a 9-cent risk, but we got to get that pop up there.
Steve, I'm still in it. Still in it.
All right, hey hero man, hey bro, you spam the chat, I'm gonna ban you, man. So listen, man, you can't come in the stream and just kind of demand attention. You know, number one, that's childish. Number two, it clouds up the chat, and so just chill out, man. You know, Mitch will get to you. He's in the middle of a trade and he's doing stuff, so don't spam the chat, bro. IOVA.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if it's gonna get this breakdown here. I'm in at 2430s above it. It's kind of a tight pattern, but I can at least have a tight risk and see if this crashes down. I have a really small share size in this. Wasn't seeing anything really out of the open. The only stock I kind of like right now is AMRN, but I'm already in this trade, so I'm just gonna stay to it. Uh, Other than
Yeah,
that, maybe ENPH as I see it go up and down there, but
I'm looking at AMD, but I took 100. I'm gonna just try to scale into this one. I just feel like it might fade. I'm gonna add to it up to 3410, um, because I want it a little bit higher. I just think it's gonna drop before then. So I took a few shares, and just in case it does flush down, I can have 100. But goal is to scale into like 300 shares up to 3411 would be my entry. Honestly, my computer's lagging a little bit this morning though. It's kind of concerning now because I don't want this thing to lag while I'm in this trade. We'll see. Let me drink my coffee. That'll make me feel better.
that's exactly what I just did.
All right, there's our 6. I can add 100 here. And with 200 shares. There's 10s, 12. We're in a big squeeze though, so I don't know if I'm going to add any more to this one. I was going to get in with 300, but man, that's just not the squeeze we want to see.
All right, there you go. Starting to get a little down move there. Let's see if I can crack these 20s on the ass.
All right, there's 19s, very close to exiting here. Like I said, 20 is my level. If it gets up to 34.20, I'm out of this thing. So there's 15s. We'll see. Yeah. Honestly, McDonald's coffee is actually pretty good.
Good Lord.
You don't like McDonald's coffee, bro? You don't like McDonald's coffee? Honestly, I don't drink much coffee, and so I think it's good. It's better than the coffee I'm drinking at my house. I'm drinking some type of organic, healthy coffee. And
Oh yeah.
McDonald's coffee is just better.
We don't need any of that.
Yeah, I tried. I gave it a shot, but you know.
I stick to my Cuban espresso. I like it.
Yeah, man, it's all right. I mean, I'll take it, but
That
McDonald's coffee is just better.
Cubano.
All right, there's 15s for AMD. Like I said, this is I might lose $30 on this trade if it goes against me, and that's fine. Gonna give it the chance though. 34.20 is my risk. Maybe we'll get a flush before then. My entry is pretty terrible. It's 03, so a terrible entry. This is my entry right here. So I'm just gonna give it some time, but gotta be careful when squeezes.
All right, my trade's just sticking around. I would much rather be in AMRN, so I might just cut this, get it out. Trying to see what's gonna happen right here on this next tick.
I kind of feel the same way about AMD here. I kind of want to just get out of it because I don't like it, but I know if it flushes down here, it's a little bit better. So I gotta stick to my risk, even though I'm not really. It's not that I'm uncomfortable in it. It's just that I don't like the way it looks right now. I don't like after I got into it, it squeezed up really big, and so I noticed it after I got into it, and just that squeeze makes me very skeptical of this one. You know how it responded to it as well. There's 19s, 18s. All right, I'm out. It was about to hit 21, and so I just got out of it. So $34 loss, very small. But man, yeah, I got up to 22.
It's creating a resistance there at that 34.20.
Yeah, I mean, that
We'll
was
see
my
if that
risk.
holds. We'll see if that holds and it comes back down.
That was my risk at 34.20, so it broke it.
Yeah.
I just gotta get
It
out.
was heading towards it for sure.
Yeah.
So I understand why to cover there.
Yeah, it was just a squeeze up.
Hey, if anything, you save yourself a little bit of capital to take on your
Right.
next trade.
Yeah, honestly, one thing I'm noticing about myself is that there's some days where I just do really bad at the open, and then I usually end up coming back. Like yesterday, I did pretty poor at
That's why
first.
a lot of times you'll see me do a smaller opening trade.
Right.
It's not necessarily that I am scared of the risk, is
No.
that
Get your
I
feet
need
wet.
to, yeah, get your feet wet, get your mind right, and then you can start taking advantage.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm used to it at this point, and so I just kind of have to. It's actually been really good for me and for the emotional side of trading because it's like I know like regardless of what happens in this first trade that I'm gonna be okay. Like yesterday, I was down almost 100, and I ended up coming back and ending technically up. I was down after commissions, but making almost $100 back, and you know, felt good. And so yeah, I mean, we just have a Keurig machine, and we use some type of environmentally friendly coffee. But look at IQ. If IQ pulls back to 1917, I'm gonna consider that one for sure.
All right, guys, about to take profit in IOVA.
A lot of people talking about SQ and Roku as well. SQ's not looking terrible. Roku's looking strong. CGC now is what I'm kind of looking at shorting. Honestly, though, my computer's kind of bugging me. It's like it's lagging. I don't know what's the issue. I should be running at like 800 megabytes per second. I don't have that many windows up relative to what I usually do.
All right, guys, taking profit there. Just gonna take my $30. Not a bad trade. I'll just take the green. 300 shares, $30. Could wait for the spread to tighten up. It's at 24.13 or 24.20 on the ask, but to tell you the truth, this is a very, very low volume stock. I wanted to get what's called an immediate move in my direction. I did get that move, but it wasn't with heavy volume. No volume came in, no big cat to actually make this short happen. So I'm going to go ahead and pull myself out, take that $30, look for a better trade, look for that A plus trade, and then take it. The A plus trade was AMRN. I already missed it. Now you got to look for another one. But
look at NBEV.
That definitely was one. If you look at AMRN, those are the ones I like. 3 rejections, immediate rejection from the top. 21.90. You had the $22 right above you. Look at that drop. Beautiful. It just took out the bottom there. Nice 20-cent drop for only a 5-cent risk.
Yep.
And IOVA kind of broke down a little bit there, a little bit further, but I'm not going to stick around with this one. I'll just move forward.
Yep. Yeah, there's the squeeze on AMD. This is why I get out. It's just the most obvious reversal point. I'm not saying it won't can come back down, but at this point, it's looking like it's going to try to break highs here, and so I'm just not trying to mess with that. NBEV is right at the VWAP. It's just a little bit too low volume for me. Is the only issue with NBEV. The other one I was looking at, what was SQ, I think. Because at this point, I kind of understand that, like Mitch says, sometimes I just got to get my feet wet a little bit in the market and, get that first trade out the way before I can kind of start thinking a little bit and get into the zone, so to speak. I think you got to get, like Mitch had a good class on getting into the zone. And I think that's kind of what you got to do. You got to just kind of figure out what works and try to get into that reactive mindset. Yeah, we have a good class on it. Have we uploaded that class yet, man? I remember that class.
Yeah. I mean, there's one class that we have that has some of it in there. The market ready, getting market ready.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite classes. That really, it's not a class that has been viewed much, but I think it's one of the best ones because if there's anything that you want to do is be market ready. Is be ready for the market, understand how you're going to take your trades, how you want to get into the zone, and getting in the zone has a lot to do with your pre-market routine.
Yep. All right, IQ is what I'm looking at, 100%. I'm
looking at Maxar right now. The Maxar.
I use 25 as a risk for IQ, so my risk is about 14 cents, and then my reward target is from 11 down to 80. And so that is 30 cents. So 2 to 1 for IQ. Gonna look to scale into this one if this one can bounce up. I'm also looking at Kron here. CRON, it's kind of pulling back to the VWAP. CGC too, maybe. But Cron, big drop and then a big pullback here. Man, my Thinkorswim's lagging. I don't know why my computer decided to lag today. What about Tesla? I also attacked Tesla a lot yesterday. I might jump in a few shares with Cron right here. Just like 100 shares.
Got a starter there in Maxar. Maxar risk right now is 908.
Maybe add a little bit to Cron if it spikes up here. And I'm watching IQ very closely here.
That AMRN. Those are one of those kick yourself in the butt kind of trades. Because I was in a trade for no reason, was watching one that was a way better setup. And there you got a nice 30-40 cent breakdown from a VWAP fade.
Yeah, man. I get those sometimes. It sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, wait. See, I want to record this, but I think I'm just going to, if I make a video, I'm just going to use the footage, because if I record it, it's going to make my computer run slower.
Yeah, that is without a doubt.
And so I'm just not going to record this one and maybe mess with it later. All right, little baby trade on Cron, but I'll take it. I really wanted IQ, really here, is what I kind of wanted up to. If it get up to 07, I would have taken IQ. But yeah, this is the drop I was looking for Cron. Really nice little VWAP rejection here is what this is for Cron. I'll consider adding to it too. I like the $0.25, the 75 level. I think that level makes a lot of sense. And CGC just got a big flush. So we'll see if we can get an all-day breakdown. Like I said, if it bounces up, if it pops back up, I'll add a little bit to this one on Cron. We'll see, though. Look at that CGC drop, though. I like the CGC drop. We just need a better spread, though, for now for CRON. Spread's just not quite ideal for me.
All right, now I got full size and Maxar, full size. Entries,
What's up, Leo?
901.
Yeah, I'm looking for SQ to get up, or for IQ to get up to here. All right, there's 64s. This is a really good trade for Cron. Really nice VWAP rejection there, but very small shares, unfortunately. I like the flush, though. We're getting a nice little move down. Now to 62s. I'm going to cover, no, I'm going to wait, I guess. I'm just going to look to add back, I guess. Some sizing if it bounces back up there. Add a little bit more here. Kind of try to scale into this one. I'll add another 50 if it gets up there too. Just trying to get my full position here for Cron. I don't mind the bounce. I also don't mind CGC here. I've been waiting for IQ though as my main trade, and I just haven't.
Look at IVOA back there. It's squeezed. I had that feeling. Just playing games.
Yep.
There's the SPY holding the support there.
We are using TradeNet and TAFs. Oh yeah, TradeNet also has a sale going on right now, guys. Let me try to get that sale up for you. But yeah, they actually have a sale going on right now. I believe intro packages are at a discount, cheaper than $3.99, what they usually are. All right, here's a rebound on Cron. I'm gonna add another 50 here. But yeah, let me see if I can get the sale up. Let me find it. I know we got some type of sale. Let me see.
All right, guys, getting a squeeze here in Maxar. Can't let it get past this 908 and hold.
Yes, $3.79 is what intro packages are. And if you want to check those out, here's the link. So yeah, we do have a sale right now on TradeNet packages. And so if you want to check TradeNet out, like I said, a lot of cool stuff comes with it. 14K in buying power with their base package. There's no PDT rule. There's no PDT rule, so you can day trade as much as you want. It's also a great way to help support the channel. If you sign up, we do get a commission from it, and so it's a great way to help support the channel. But yeah, if you want a cheaper deal with TradeNet, like I said, I think you get the intro package for $379, which is really cheap. Like I said, you get 14,000 in buying power, no PDT rule, pretty cheap commissions. One of the ways I can buy 50 and 100 shares is because commissions are pretty cheap, all things considered. There's also no PDT rule, a decent platform, and it comes with a trading course and access to a trading chat room. Like I said, all of that for $379. It's just a really good deal. It's a nice bundle for new traders to get started trading. And I think most new traders are going to lose their first account regardless of who they use. And so I think with this, it really allows them to invest a small amount of money instead of depositing thousands into a regular broker like they usually would. And so I think it just makes sense. If you want to check that out, I'll post this link here as well. And you can go check out TradeNet. Like I said, pretty cheap commissions, no PDT rule, day trade as much as you want. A lot of benefits to using them. And so go check out that link if you want to help support the channel and use the same platform and broker that Mitch and I are using. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a squeeze up here for Cron. Like I said, I'll probably risk off of that 77 level now. I'll try to give it some time. But I tried to add on those subsequent bounces.
Yeah, I might get squeezed out right here. Yep, done. It's not a big squeeze out, but I'm just not going to take any more risks. There's nothing there. Really not seeing anything. Missed the best trade of the day, which was AMRN, but not really seeing anything from there.
Yeah, I wanted a IQ. It just never got to my level, unfortunately. All right, so we're getting a move up on Cron. I'm not going to add any more to this one. I'm just going to stick to my risk. I will consider CGC if it can climb all the way back there. So if this one doesn't work out, the other trade I might consider a CGC. But if that doesn't work out, I don't know. I might just be done. I'm getting a lot of fake outs lately with some fades. But I'll give it some time to let it work and see if this level holds as resistance. Still small day so far. Less than $40 in gross right now. So we'll give it some time. IQ never got there. I almost added to IQ early too, but...
Interesting chart for me is EMPH.
Oh, go check out Trade Ideas as well. If you want to use the best scanners in the game, there's a reason all the big time traders use Trade Ideas. Like I said, best scanners in the game by far, in my opinion at least. So if you want to check those out, there's the link. There's 74. Like I said, I got to be kind of strict with this 75 level. I'll let it test this level right here at 76. But if it breaks that, I just got to get out of it. Small day. Sometimes it takes me a few trades to get started, so I'm not going to say I'm done. I made that mistake yesterday, and then I ended up trading some more. But it's getting close to risking me out of this trade.
Yeah, it's one of those days that patience is better.
All right, there's 77s. Yeah, I've been trading small. I mean, I'm only down $50 on the day, so it's a small day for sure. It's just one of those days where, like, the first fade on Cron would have worked. I just added to it because the first one I only got in with 100 shares. I'm also looking at CGC here, though. CGC's not looking terrible, and if Cron gets rejected here, it might be really good. I'm only down $11 in this trade, so you know, that's how you manage the trade the right way and to where you're not really risking a ton. All right, so we'll see if this level holds. Now I got a really obvious risk level right here at 78. It's my entry here. My entry's got to be 70. Okay, not too bad. All right, there's 78s on the bid, 77s. Look at Tesla squeeze up there, man. Tesla with the big squeeze up. I saw an order go through on the ask. I don't know if it was real or not. It said 85s. So I got my hand's over the cover button here.
All right, guys, trying to get in EMPH here and seeing it squeeze. I need to pull back to 75 or 73 area.
All right, I got out of Kron. It just looked like it's squeezing up too much. I'll consider CGC here, but it's going to be a small size. We're getting a. I like CGC because it's climbed all the way back here. But this will be probably my last trade if this one doesn't work out. And I can risk off of probably 35s or so here. 36, 35s.
Missed that breakout. Trying to get it pull back here.
So TradeNet's actually an educational service more than anything. It is basically, it's kind of like a prop firm is really the best way to describe it. So it's kind of like a prop firm is really the best way to describe it. Technically, I don't know what you would consider it, but it's more like a prop firm. So you pay for a package. It's not a deposit. You're actually paying for the package. And so in that way, it's not like a regular broker platform. And with that, you get approved. Most people get approved for the funded account program. So basically, they approve you for a funded account, and then there's a profit split with that. And so if you get approved for it, you have to split any profits you make with them. But they supply you with the leverage and the buying power to make profits. And so it makes sense. And then they give you a trading course. They have a trading chat room that comes with it. And so I would say it's more so an educational service, but you partner with TAFs in the funded account program as well. So I don't know. Whatever you would consider it. Like I said, I think it's just a cheap deal. I think for most traders, they end up losing their first account regardless. And so I think at least with TradeNet, you're risking a much smaller amount.
I would agree with that.
The intraday trend on CGC. I mean, I'm day trading, so the intraday trend is actually below the VWAP, which means it's in a downward intraday trend. When it breaks over the VWAP, then it might switch trends, and that's very possible, which is why I'm only in with a very small share size. I'm in with 100 shares, and I'm basically break even on it. And so what I'm trying to take advantage of here is this extension, this big move up here, and it finally gets to the VWAP, and it's on this big move up. And so we're going to look for a rejection. It also depends on what the cannabis stocks end up doing for the rest of the day. So that depends, but we're looking for a rejection right here, and preferably a break under 35 is what we're looking at. But technically, intraday wise, CGC is technically in a downward trend because it's underneath the VWAP, and it's maintained under the VWAP the last 30 minutes or so. It all depends. Like, there's different levels, and so the intro package is their cheapest package. That's the one that comes with 14K in buying power. All right, it just came back. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my computer today. I don't know if it's my internet or what's going on with it, but something. But yeah, there's different max losses per package, and so like the intro package, the max loss is 700, and so if you go under 13,300, they close you down. And then my package is like the top package. It's called the Pro package, and it comes with a $12,000 max loss. And so I've got a lot of room in this one. But I still trade small. You see I'm a big wimp. I still trade small.
All right, I'm going to expect what I'm going to be looking for is CGC to come up to 35.25s. That's where I could get in, not down here at the 35.07s or 35.10s. I need to get in above 20s so that I can risk up to that 38.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in CGC. My risk, I got in at 35, roughly 35.20, and my risk in this one is, 32, maybe? I don't know, 32, 33.
I think we're going to get this push right here.
Yeah, and we could. I'm only in with 100 shares, so even if we do, it's still break even for me, but it just depends on how strong it gets right here over this 20.
Yeah, I just see the geometric trend line going to it. So let's see what.
Look at Tesla come all the way back down here, man. Big wash for Tesla. Yeah, my computer's acting funny though. It's hard for me to even look at these charts. They're lagging, and I don't know what's wrong with my computer today, guys. I got to go move my computer back downstairs. So the painters are actually finally done, and so I get to move my stuff back down to my desk downstairs. But until then, man, it's I've been running a 60-foot Ethernet cord all the way downstairs from upstairs in my house, and so I'm excited to just go downstairs. I sold out of Roku early from 103.48 to 107.25. Or I'm guessing 103.25. Happy with profit, but how do you determine to stay longer? It just depends on where your reward target is for the trade and how you plan it out. You know, there's different plans you're going to want to follow while you're in the trade. And so it just depends on how you plan it out. I typically like to use the low of the days as my profit target and then maybe hold on to a little bit extra. You know, like sell half of my position or a third of my position and then hold on to a little bit longer to see if we can get a much larger gain from it. And that's kind of how you do it, is you kind of scale out of it a little bit, if that makes sense. But yeah, here's the drop down to 35. If we can get down to 35, I'll take a little bit off and then maybe add back to this one on CGC. Try to do the same thing I did with Cron, even though the one on Cron didn't work, but I still like the logic and the strategy is the same. Because we might get a bounce here at 35, but I'd like a little bit more, and I don't mind scaling into this one either. We'll give it some time, see if we can break 35, the whole dollar. But yeah, maybe look into scaling in and out of the position, Robert. That's kind of one of the ways you can, if you feel yourself wanting to take profits, you can take some and then hold on to the rest and try to give the rest some time to work. Like I was going to do it here at CGC, but it just never got to my level, unfortunately. And so I'm just trying to be patient with it and let it work, if that makes sense. And if it gets down to 35, I can take half of this position off and then let the rest work in case it does break down a little bit more and continue going in my favor. So that way I can still hold on to some of my shares, but I've still taken profits to where I'm not in with my full sizing that I originally had, if that makes sense. I gotta do this though, guys. I gotta take these scanners down for now. My computer's just running slow. I think it's probably honestly Thinkorswim. But for now, I'm gonna take the scanners down because I need more memory for my computer.
Just open up your task manager. It'll let you know what's flipping out.
Yeah, that's true. Here, let me do that.
Yeah. It'll let you know what's taking too much of your CPU.
Yep.
Whatever that is, just cut it. Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's Thinkorswim.
Yeah.
Or no, honestly, it's OBS. Or no, it's Google.
Nah, it's Google.
Chrome.
It could be Chrome.
Chrome.
Chrome sometimes does
Eats
this
memory.
crazy extension thing.
Yeah.
And then just straight eating up your computer.
Memory. Yeah, man.
For no reason.
Honestly, it says I still have 12 tabs, but I don't have 12 tabs in Chrome anymore. It says I have 25 tabs in Chrome. But I don't. I have
That's
3.
something to look into.
I'm going to exit out of this and then just open Chrome back up. Yeah, I don't even have any tabs of Chrome open.
You might have processes open, though. So
There we go.
I'll teach you how to get rid of that later.
All right. Actually, it's running much faster now that I did that. I'm just going to open everything back up. There we go.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, appreciate the sub, Jose. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it.
No,
Yeah,
it happens often. It happens often for that one. Looking at KPTI, guys, it's holding the bottom pattern, but I think this one might squeeze out here. Keeping a close eye on it here. If it does squeeze, I'm going to take this long. If it just breaks down from here, there's no really advantage on the short side. There's a lot bigger advantage if it squeezes here.
There we go.
Yep.
All right, so I'm still holding CGC, just a small position. Like I said, I'll add to it on any subsequent bounces. But what I'm really also looking at here is NBEV. NBEV put in those very obvious highs that we always talk about, and then it flushed back down. And so NBEV, AMRN, if it pulls back to the VWAP, doesn't look terrible. And the other one I was looking at was IQ earlier. Still really early in both of these trades because they're a little bit longer term positions. Let me see. Look at Tesla with the VWAP bounce. That one kind of looks solid. Oh, you're in a position? Look at IQ. I'm starting to think about IQ here.
I want to see KPTI reject here off this 815, collect a big amount of volume, and I'm going to jump in this for the long. Setting up for the long. Got good support there underneath it at $8. So if this does crash down, that's probably where it's heading to. But I'm not going to short it here because the risk is up there to 830s. Doesn't make sense to go for a 10-cent trade for a 10-cent risk. That's not my kind of pattern.
Yep. All right, so I added another 50 shares to CGC. I'm not trying to add a huge amount here. The other one I'm looking at is IQ.
Because be careful with the SPY, guys. The SPY feels like it's doing one of those days where it's down. Pushing stocks up, keeps pushing stocks up because they've already been hit so much. And these are days where I get caught. Like if you look at AMAT, I could have shorted that one already like 2 or 3 times thinking that it was going to come down. But I've been seeing that kind of what we call a upsloping ascending triangle building. And until the trend line actually breaks down, you're going to keep seeing that kind of slow rise.
Oh, somebody asked me yesterday or the other day how to import my trades on TEFs. And so I'll go ahead and do that now. So basically, what you do here to import your trades is you go to trade historical data, and then you go to trades. And then because I can keep watching this, and then you go to account and you select your account. To trader view is what I'm showing you here. I gotta actually watch CGC though.
Don't worry, I'm looking to jump in with you, man. Trying to help.
But anyways, then you select the date. So like if I want to upload yesterday's trade, so I just go to the 15th. I go to filter. There's yesterday's trades. I go to export. I could just name it yesterday. All right, we're gonna squeeze up here. Like I said, I'm only in with 150 shares of CGC, and it's still right at the VWAP. Risk in this one is about 33 for me, but I'm not liking it as much. But I do kind of like IQ here. I'm liking IQ more, but this squeeze on CGC is not what I like. Let's see. I'll try to give it that time because I still have a little bit of room here, but getting some fake outs today for sure with me, at least. All right, I want to take a little bit of IQ here. So I'm going to get in with 200. And then I got to manage CGC because that one does not look like it's... Okay, so it's down to 50. And so I'm just holding 200 shares. Goal here for IQ is down to 1880s is what I really want to see here. If it can come down to 1880s and I can take some profits, that's what I want to see. But these two trades don't work out. I'm definitely done. And CGC is looking worse and worse as it moves.
Yeah, I just don't like the daily on CDC, and I can see volume coming in here, stepping in here and really pushing it up. Just paying attention to see if we're going to get a rejection here off 25s. Yeah. I think it could push to 30 and then reject. But I talked about this entry earlier. This is where the trend line leads to. If you draw the trend line from that first red, then that green wick, you'll get right up to this wick. And now it needs to hold that 30. I could take this trade right now on 21 or 25 and risk off at 30, get out at 31s. But I'm not liking the daily chart. And when I don't like the daily chart, I usually don't like to short. So I'm going to hold off. John's in a good spot there, 35.20s. That's not a bad spot to be in right now.
That's solid. Yeah, for sure. We're just going to let it work and see what happens. I mean, either way, it's kind of been a so few days. We're back down to 20s though, so it's kind of been a so few weeks so far. Like yesterday I made 10. It might just be one of those weeks where I just don't do so hot, and that's okay. You know, you can't, every week's not going to be a green week. Every day is not going to be profitable. And I think if you have that mindset, you're bound to fail. And so I'm okay with taking a loss. The biggest thing I need to focus on here, guys, is I actually like this drop now for CGC if it can maintain under that previous high that it put in. But if today's a losing day, that's okay, basically. I just have to accept it.
Yeah, well, it just seems logical to move to 25. So now you know what your risk level is and where the
Right.
squeeze level is. Above those 30s, you're gonna see some volume jump in there, and below 35 13s, you should see the short squeeze short down a little bit more.
Yep. And I'm looking at IQ here. My risk in IQ is only 12 or 11, and so I'm still holding IQ. Goal is to see a flush back down, but got to be careful with it for sure. May just be one of those days though. Really, this week seems so far not that hot for me, so may just be one of those weeks, guys, where I don't do too great. They happen for sure. All right, we're down to 25s now for CGC. Here's a little bit better for IQ. I actually like this move on IQ. We'll just see if it can maintain under now. And there's a 22 drop on CGC. So I'm going to hold both of these and look for some fades with both of these. Oh, and then if I wanted to add, now that I'm a little bit in a, I don't know. I'm trying to find the time to add these trades to TraderView. But I don't want to stop looking at the chart for too long here. Let me choose the file. What did I name it? All right, there's CGC squeeze up. Yesterday is what I named it. Upload. All right. So getting a squeeze up on CGC, like I said, I'm gonna stick to that original risk I gave myself. But I think if it breaks this 28 level, I have to get out. So it's put in a double top right there, and so I gotta be very strict with that level. I think at this point, the chart's changed a little bit, and if you see these 35-28 level right here, I think let me get this drawer out. There we go. I think if you see this level right here, if it breaks that level, I just gotta bail out of it. I gotta be pretty strict with myself over it. Of course, I'd like to let it test up, but when it puts in that high and then breaks, I gotta be, like I said, I just gotta be strict with it here. And I think the chances of it dropping underneath that are pretty decent, but I don't want to try to make up my mind in the trade. I gotta just kind of stick to the levels. There's 01s for CGC. Or no, for IQ. I do like IQ here, though. And there's CGC dropping some. So both of those are looking better. IQ, I'm actually up some. And then CGC, I'm only down 550, so not too bad.
Started put on there KPTI. Let me see if this is going to come back here. Oof. Didn't get the best fill there, but it's going to hold to add. I was going to add, but didn't get the best fill there. So trying to see if we're going to come back in my direction a little bit before I hit that add.
I do like this flush on CGC. I think it has to maintain under these levels, though. I think a lot of the time it's just going to bounce immediately back up there. And so I do like this drop, but I can't get my hopes up too much, basically. I have to understand the possibility of what happens a lot of the time right here, which is exactly what I said. There's the bounce right back up there, which is, again, I mean, it's pretty predictable at a certain point. When you trade these enough, you can kind of see how these, how they behave to a certain extent. But my bigger position, which is actually IQ, is doing a little bit better, and I'm liking this move back down. And so I'm going to try to ride IQ down. And I really don't mind CGC still. It's still in a good spot. Here we go. I'm liking these moves now. It's 10 on IQ. IQ is looking better. CGC is still looking better too. I'm just going to let that work. All right, there's the bounce back up. Like I said, these bounces happen so much. The reason they happen is because you can see this low of the day right here. So I'll draw out why this bounce is likely. Here's the low of the day. And you can see where it's testing off of. And so that's why I kind of have an idea that that bounce may may happen right here on CGC. All right, there's the bounce on CGC. So again, I mean, I need to just base my risk off of this level right here, this 28 level, because that's where the major resistance is now. I put in a double top right there. And really, I just have to watch for squeezes against me. It's not the best spread, but at this point, I just need to pay attention to the possible squeeze. And, obviously, I hope it doesn't, but I can't pretend it's not likely, because it's possible for sure. About break even with both of these two trades. IQ's looking better, and I'm really liking IQ for the fade there. All right, so there's 28s again for CGC. Like I said, this squeeze was pretty likely. It happens a lot, and the reason is because that was the previous low of the day at 34.14. That was a huge level it has to stick with. Now, with that said, though, the spread is still 4 cents. And so on this move, I have to be very weary. But I can let it test this level. I'm really about break even with both of these trades anyway, so regardless of what happens, I'll be fine. But I just have to be honest about what the chart is telling me here for CGC. We would love a triple top if it gets rejected here, but we don't want to invest too much hope in this one.
But they get stopped out in KPTI if it comes back down. Little squeeze there. Let's see if we get some bag buyers.
Really think about adding to my IQ trade as well. I don't want to do it right now. I'm waiting for CGC to kind of settle down a little bit away from my risk level. But wouldn't mind adding to IQ if CGC can kind of settle down enough for me to take my hand off the cover button. I could set a stop loss, but I'd rather not, because too many times you're going to get risked out of that trade when you didn't want to. There's 29s. Like I said, I'll let it test, but it's getting very, very close to stopping me out. 28s. 30s. I'm only in with 150 shares, so if I let it test $1 or $2, it's $3 or $4. But I gotta be honest about it. I don't want it to. Obviously, I don't want to exit, and I want it to work, but if it gets over this 30 level, I'm just going to let go and bail out of it.
Yeah, man. It could just be one of those days.
Yeah, for sure. They happen.
That's why I'm trying to control over here. And I'm not seeing it the best day. Been going at it with half sizing.
Well, I tried to get out at 31, but it was a limit order and it didn't get hit, so I gotta market it. There's 30s. Like I said, if I see 31 on the ask, I just got to bail out. Well, there's a rejection down at 29, so maybe that saved me. We'll see. 28s. Hey, maybe it faked me out. That would be lovely if it comes back down.
That's a third resistance right there. So you shouldn't see that break for sure.
Right. Well, if it does, I got to bail out. There's 27s. But if it gets rejected right here, yeah, that's the third. That's that triple top putting in there. So it looks a lot better, actually. So maybe that helped me. The limit order not getting hit helped me, but... Hey, there it is, man. There it is. Nice. Hey, that worked out, man.
The rule of 3, bro.
Yeah, man, that worked out. All right. Like I said, now with IQ, I'm looking to add to this one, but I'm just risking it off of this 06 level.
So now what you want to see is low volume here at the 20s. You don't want to see big volume there. That could show people scooping it up at the VWAP. You want to see it get below VWAP, crack that 20, and then the volume just flirt in, because you have a 1 minute base there at 35.20.
Right. I'm about to bail out of IQ. It just turned against me. It looked good. Maybe I should have taken profits before then, but IQ's ripping up a little bit too much for me here too. Yeah, it just seems like it's just not my day today. Fades have just been faking out left and right. If you look at Cron, you can kind of see the fake outs that I've been getting stuck in. And I'll hold on to CGC, but I'm probably going to hang it up after these two. Just not my day.
All right, guys, this took a little bit more in the KPTI.
I'm out of IQ, and now I'm just going to manage CGC and then hang it up. Been a pretty rough day for me so far.
It happens, brother. Hang in there.
Man. I'm all right. Like, listen, like I said, technically in gross profits, yesterday was my 6th green day in a row. And so I'm not going to be dishonest about it. After commissions, I ended up down yesterday. But, my trading's been doing all right. And losing days happen. Days like this happen where you just get kicked in the teeth. And that's all right, Can't get too upset about it, Because then if you get upset every time you have a losing day, you're never going to accept the losing day. And then it's just going to backfire, and it's gonna make it worse for you. So it is what it is. The biggest thing I need to work on is my losses today are a little bit bigger than I would have wanted them to. I'm still up in my account. But I think I got a little bit too impatient today, so to speak.
It happens. I have a good feeling about my trade. Just have that kind of trader's intuition here. But seeing it hold and hold and hold. There's definitely a big cat here at 24s and 21s in KPTI. Just going to be a matter of if he's going to fulfill it for me. I've seen him already take shares at 24, 12,500 shares. And then at 21, he took, right now, when it went to 20s, right back to VWAP, he took another 3,000 shares. So we're going to see if he's on the long side or the short side right here. It's really what's going to determine it.
Yeah, I'm out. I got out of CGC. So, yeah, $91 loss on the day. Unfortunate, but, losing days happen. It is what it is. Like I said, I did upload my graph, though, to TraderView, and this is my graph from the last few weeks. And so, solid graph. Like I said, yesterday I managed to, I guess they do try to calculate commissions in there, but $1,029 in gross profits in the last month. And so not too shabby there. Maybe I'll look at IQ. If you look at detailed here, let's look at the stocks that did me right. CGC was number one. Maybe not after. I made $740 on CGC. So a lot of this last month was specifically attacking CGC, believe it or not. And so not too bad here. Like I said, yesterday was technically my 6th green day in a row, but after commissions, I was down like $30. But aside from that, the rest of the days have all been solid green days. And I've only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including today, 6 green days out of the 20 trading days. So, 14 out of 20 profitable days out of 20 days of the month is not too bad. 14 out of 20. Believe it or not, though, the surprising thing is that my accuracy really isn't that high. Like, if you look here, this was the surprising thing. Like, my accuracy is only roughly 58%. But, again, 58% is good enough to make money. Like I said, you can see total gross profits is 1,565, and so not too shabby there. Profit factor of 1.85, so almost 2 to 1. Average hold time for a winning trade is about an hour. Average holding time for a losing trade is 16 minutes. So not too bad. That's kind of what you want to see, I guess. But, yeah, today just wasn't my day, guys. It is what it is. Not really upset about it. The biggest thing I'm worried about is that I keep trading and potentially take a bigger loss. That's the biggest thing I'm kind of scared that I'm going to do and I don't want to do. And so we'll see if I follow my rule, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably end up closing it down. You in a trade, Mitch? Oh.
Yeah, just hanging out.
All right.
But still looking at CGC, man. It's still viable.
We'll see. Maybe I'll trade some more today. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Honestly, though, today I've just been getting kicked in the teeth.
That happens, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's better to take the punch than take the knockout.
Right, man. And that's what I'm saying. I might just want to hang it up today. It's just not my day. And it is what it is, man. It's a Tuesday. Yeah,
and it
Whatever.
happens.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and hang it up, guys. So go check out, like I said, TradeNet has a sale right now. And again, I think this is the truth, right? I think most new traders are going to lose their first account. They never expect themselves to. I think every new trader always thinks that they're just going to start making thousands and thousands of dollars in the market immediately. No matter how ready they think they are, though, most of the time a new trader is going to lose that first few accounts, really. And the way they typically do that is they deposit thousands into a regular broker, and then they end up losing those thousands of dollars. And it's a very common tale. It's usually what happens to most traders if they're being honest with you. Yeah, sure, some are going to say, yeah, I took this guru's course and now I'm making $1 million. And that's just most of the time nonsense. But I think with TradeNet, at least you're risking much less. For the intro package, it's on sale right now for $379. With that, if you're approved, you get 14,000 in buying power. There's no PDT rules, so you can day trade as much as you want. There's also pretty cheap commissions if you use small sizing. You see me trading with 50 shares, 100 shares. The reason I can do that is because commissions are really, really cheap. If I use less than 300 shares, my commission's like $5, $4 or $5 total for a complete round trip. And again, there's no PDT rule. You get a decent amount of buying power. You can see the platform right here on Mitch's screen. Really good platform as well. It's only $15 a month too. And I think it's just a much cheaper option. I think it really allows new traders to get their feet wet without risking a ton of money like they would if they deposited thousands into a regular broker. And so I think it just makes more sense. It's just less risk for the new trader. And again, if you want to check them out, I'll post this link here. Again, I think it makes sense for new traders, and I think it's one of the ways that a new trader can kind of subsidize or can kind of limit some of that risk when they first get started. Because again, you're only risking what you pay for the TradeNet package, and in this case, like right now, the package is $379, and so it's pretty cheap. And so if you want to check that out, I'll post this link here. Great way to help support the channel as well. So if you want to help support the channel, great way to help support us, and I'll post this link here as well. And if you look right above the link I just posted, there's actually a walkthrough video of TradeNet where I break down their pros and cons. And there are some cons, specifically penny stocks. There's not many penny stocks tradable on there, and that's just me being honest. If you're a sole penny stock trader, it's probably not the right platform and thing for you. But if you like to trade regular stocks like we do, most of them are tradable, and you can see we typically find a decent amount to trade with. Good platform. You can see Mitch on the platform now. And so yeah, go check them out. Great way to help support the channel too. Thoughts on IOVA? Yeah, I can give you my thoughts on it real quick.
I traded it today, so let me take a look. I got you.
I think the volume's honestly pretty low in the range. I mean, the range isn't bad. It's about an 80-cent range on the day. But volume's a little bit lower at this point. And let me see what the spread is like.
The spread's going to be big. You have to go really small share size and understand that if your number comes up on the ask or the bid, you have to get out because the next number could be 10, 20 cents down from that.
Right, 100%. And I think today we're just getting a lot of fake outs with fades. Like, so if you're attacking VWAP fades and VWAP bounces like Mitch and I do, I think especially with VWAP fades today, there's just a lot of fake outs. I got faked out 3 or 4 times today. And so it is what it is. Days like this happen.
I got faked out on Maxar. If you look at that stock.
Yeah, for sure.
It actually came back down, But
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close it down, guys. So good luck in the markets. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. Same time as always. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We day trade live on stream every weekday morning starting at 8 o'clock market time. So hit that subscribe button. Click the like button if you appreciate this free content. Mitch and I do all of this for free. We let people watch us every day. We're honestly the realest people out there. We're the most transparent, at least. There's a lot of people that post... a lot of people trade and they post their trade reviews after the fact, but it's very easy to fake that. And so we just try to be honest and transparent with people. And so we just day trade live every weekday. So we couldn't fake it if we wanted to. And so, yeah, hit that subscribe button, show your love, and click the, like I said, click the like button, hit the subscribe button. Good luck in the markets, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.